What's going on? It's your dog Art Man Boxing, and we're back with another boxing conversation. Oh man, it's fight week. You know what I'm saying? These Canelo fight weeks, dude, they not feeling the way they used to feel. All the excitement and all the you know fight people going back and forth with each other. This week, man, I've been noticing things. I've been noticing that it's more of those fans trying to convince us that this fight is something special. It's like I've never really seen this outside of Canelo where his fans literally have to basically tell everybody that the opponent is worthy, convince us that he is worthy, which is weird because if it's a good fight, and everybody knows the fight's good, everybody knows it's going to be a great fight, even the casuals. Shout out to the brother Julius. What's going on, brother?
What's up, Art? What's good with you, brother?
Shit, not much. Enjoying my day. Uh, Out of work right now. Just got off. I'm just
Oh,
chilling.
for real?
Yeah, I'm just chilling. Thinking about this boxing shit. But my
Right.
dude Todd said, "Yo, but how do you feel about this fight week, man?
Hold on one second, Art. Hey, do the it's the what? All right, Art. My fault. What do I think about what the fight on Saturday or this past Saturday fight? This Saturday, Canelo and Bivol. It's gonna be a close fight, but unless Bivol dominates to a point where he beat him so bad he won't get a decision. That's what I think, and it's gonna look like all Canelo fights. It's gonna be a slow pace fight. Um, guy's gonna be stalking the guy. They're gonna punch in. You know what I'm saying? Like no one that Canelo has fought lately have really went out there and just set a fast pace, try to win. It's just all his fights look the same. Guy go out there, it's a slow fight. Everybody pacing themselves, and that's all gonna basically happen, man. It's gonna be same old, same old. Bivol, I mean, any guy that's cheering for his opponent during a press conference ain't really trying to win like that, brother.
Did you see what I posted on Twitter? The comment about the Canelo fight. I know I made several comments, but the specific comment I said all I hear is Bivol is dangerous, but I never hear I'm putting $500 on him to win.
Well, because number one, Bivol ain't got no fan base over here, and number two, everybody, no matter who you're talking to, no one believes this guy's gonna win, no matter what he does. You get what I'm saying?
They know it.
Yeah, they all know it's gonna end unanimous decision, Canelo, or at worst, majority decision. Like no one's expecting him to win no fight. No one. I mean, you got a couple people that called it, or they trying to act like they calling it. You get what I'm saying? Like they see something and all that good stuff. But bro, this fight is gonna be, you know what I'm saying? What's good, Cozy? It's gonna be how all the other fights look. You know what I'm saying? Nothing different. It ain't gonna be no 3-4 knockdowns, none of that kind of good stuff. It's just gonna be a boring fight, you know what I'm saying? And the crowd will be cheering every time Canelo throws in combination, and that's gonna be it.
Okay, I'm gonna show you what I said about the fight.
Mm-hmm.
word for word, just so people can have my my voice matching what I tweeted. Give me 1 sec. I got to pull it up. So much shit going on right now.
Man, you was buzzing with the Shakur Stevenson
Yeah,
thing, man.
we gonna get into
Yeah,
that. We gonna get into that for sure.
yeah.
That's why I'm glad I'm doing this live and I got some free time. I
Mhm.
said I got Canelo by decision in a boring chess match. Some people will say Bivol did enough to win, but it won't be enough to convince the masses he was robbed. I can
Mhm.
see Canelo eating a right hand, but overcomes and hurts Bivol with body shots. Canelo Triple G 3 next.
Ain't that
That,
exactly what I said?
that that's how I
Me and
see it.
you are on par with it, brother. We're on par with it. And let me say this too, man. Where's the buzz for this fight? Everybody is acting like it's almost like this. I gotta bring this Tyson Fury situation up because we ain't talking about it. All those people online talking about they seen it. Now, if they saw the fight, all of them illegally saw it because only 11,000 people viewed that fight. That's it in America.
I knew it.
Legally.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that shit was gonna do fucking. I'm surprised. 1100 is
11,000.
actually pretty good to me because I thought that shit was gonna do 600 buys. I thought it was gonna do 600 buys. I really did.
But it just go to show, man. And I don't see no buzz about this fight with Canelo. No buzz.
But it's like this though, man. I heard the fans gonna be there.
Oh, I believe the fans will be there. I believe that he'll have a good crowd. I just don't think it's buzz about it. Like it's ho hum. Like for example, Canelo really screwed his fans, and
No,
because
Julius. They screwed themselves because this is what they accepted. This is what they accepted, man. They want this, man. They want it because they're telling me about how Canelo got all these financial gains and this gain. I'm like, dude, what are we gaining?
right facts,
Oh,
and
Bivol fight. Bivol's man, fuck all that. He get past Bivol, then what? Triple G,
nothing.
John Ryder? Nah, I'd rather y'all don't even look at the
I
whole
mean,
thing. I'd rather have Canelo fight Benavidez, Charlo, Morel Jr. in a row rather than Bivol, Triple G, and Ryder. That's
and
fact.
here's the thing, man. PBC tried to throw this guy. They offered him 55 million to fight Earl Spence at 164. Why would you not take that? You got a guy moving up 3 weight classes, been in car accidents, had layoffs, and you wouldn't take that for 55 million?
They like, oh, he getting 160 million. And I feel like honestly,
Bro,
I feel like people just throwing out that number and the zone's not gonna correct them
nope.
because
It sounds
they
good.
don't want him to look bad. So they're just gonna be like,
Right.
yeah, it's under a person that he's getting 160 million.
Right. They letting them throw that number out there because it makes them look like they big ballers, and it also keeps them
Remember what
happy.
happened to the 360 million? What happened to
Right.
that?
Exactly. The 10 fight $360 million deal. It's crazy, man. Like I said, man, and there's fools out there that actually said that was Spence trying to duck Crawford by moving up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo. But this is the one thing I hate about Twitter is that me and you having this dialogue so we can get out what we need to get out, but we only got so many letters we can do, you know what I'm saying, giving it to people. But I want to ask them this question. If Canelo's your man, and if he's pound for pound the best, how is any fighter ducking anybody by fighting the number one fighter in the world? If he's the number one fighter in the world. You get what I'm saying? And then I heard Canelo say, oh, well, Earl Spence, no catch weight, 168. How about Art man, when you get a chance, go through Canelo record and watch and look at and count how many catch weight fights this guy has had.
Several. And Canelo, what's so sad about Canelo is it's like these other guys got to fight the number one top contenders or champions when they move up in weight. With Canelo, his introduction to these weight classes are the Chavez Juniors and the motherfucking Rocky Fieldings, and then he worked his way into the weight class. But now with these other guys, they got to fight off back.
Right, exactly. He don't have to fight the top contenders. I mean, everybody else, they make mandatories, they fight D fighters, and like I say, and he gets credit. And listen, I shout out, I think that Bradman listened to your show. So that's cool because now I'm going to say something because this is the only way I see I can talk with him. The guy made a comment about Canelo being a hot fighter. Now listen to this comment. I want you to listen to it, and you can verify this by going on to his Twitter page. So this guy said that Canelo is a hot fighter because of, he said, the wins over Saunders, Smith, and Plant, right? Said he's a hot fighter. He said the time to give a fighter a tough fight is when they red hot. Now, that's what he said. Don't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. But I said to him, do you think that he's a hot fighter because of the level of opposition?
Not your messenger.
I tell you,
he never responded back.
I tell you right now, Errol Spence run at 147. The champions he's knocking over, way better than Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant, and motherfucking who else he fought? Rocky Fielding. No, Caleb Smith.
Caleb Smith, old Kovalev. Listen, even Charlo, Jamel got a better resume lately than Canelo. You get what I'm saying? Now, Canelo do have a good resume, and I ain't going to take that away from him. Anytime you fight a prime Mayweather, well, Mayweather won't in his prime, but he won't in his prime, but he was still a great fighter. And you fight a Lara in his prime, and then you fight Trout in his prime. I give you credit for that. He fought an older Cotto, an older Mayweather, but
older Shane Mosley.
Shane Mosley was almost in a casket when he fought him. So, but yeah, man, this stuff here lately, he's cherry picking because it's possible if you're good enough to cherry pick champions because some of these guys can't fight. And now I think people are finally starting to see the things that I tell them about these trainers, that they're garbage. People are starting to see, man, these guys can't train. You know what I'm saying? I saw you call out Eddie Reynoso.
I've been calling out Eddie Reynoso.
You have. Now a lot of other people are calling him out. They said that the guy was clueless against Shakur Stevenson. Well, he said several weeks ago he was clueless.
And that's why I told people, I'm like, yo, what confidence do y'all really have in this guy? This guy, he's the trainer of the year, but he's out here saying he can't beat a particular style. You would never hear a black trainer say he can't beat a certain style. He might say they're good, but he ain't gonna be like, oh, they're very difficult to beat. Nah, we beating them. We beating them all.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter who it is. I mean, we just gonna take, the best opposition, and we're gonna try to get a game plan together and win. That's what a coach is. A coach in any sport, no matter how good the opposition is, no matter how great you are, it's always a weakness somewhere. And I heard someone say, and they were so confident when they said it, why would Valdez try to fight like Madonna or fight like this guy, that guy to win a fight? You have to be yourself. That's a lie, bro. That's a lie. That's not sports. Sports is called adjustments. Look, I have seen a guy like Pernell Whitaker that fight like Shakur Stevenson, right? I saw him in a fight getting his butt kicked, and he had to win that fight by knockout. And it was like round 9, 10, or 11. Do you know what this guy did, Art Man? He sold out to get a knockout. He started fighting throwing all type of shots to get the knockout because he tried to win. Valdez was okay with losing a unanimous decision and just not getting hurt too bad. And his trainers was just as happy because they could say, hey,
we
I
tried
even
our best. The best man won. We get to move
exactly.
on. See now with even with Wilder versus Fury 3, yeah, they like to say, oh, Fury got more skills than Wilder, right?
Right.
What did Wilder do? He didn't try to go in there outbox Fury. He tried to go in there and kill that man. And what happened in the third fight? He dropped that man several times before he ultimately got defeated. But still, the point is that the brother tried to knock the motherfucker out. Throwing all the punches he can. Valdez not even hurt like that. And he not even thought he would even like hurt where it's like, damn, he looking like Lubin out there. It's like, man, you were satisfied. You were contempt.
And that's why when those guys were trying to like shame, he said, what, Julius, you mean Pernell didn't run like Lil B-Hop? Absolutely not. He didn't run like Lil B-Hop. I don't even know who called him Lil B-Hop. He didn't run like Lil B-Hop. He didn't concede defeat like Valdez. I mean, like I said, man, I always thought that when you fight, you support, or any sport, I thought you do it to win.
Man, some people do it to just get that check, man.
I see.
And some people was forced to do it. You know what I'm saying? In this Valdez situation, he didn't want this damn fight. And I was listening to Dante's Boxing Nation, and he made a good point. Excellent point. He said some of these fighters don't be afraid to get in the ring because they're afraid to get punched. They're afraid of the backlash that comes after losing to that particular person, especially to a black person.
Right. And I mean, I look at it like this as far as the backlash. If you get backlash for going out there doing and giving your all, then so be it. Because you can't satisfy everybody all the time anyway. But the thing that I've seen is these guys were maybe afraid of the backlash, but like Cozy said, they tried to survive in these fights, man. These guys wasn't trying to win no more. Like, yeah, Lubin got knots all on his head. He almost died in the ring, but he was willing to go through that to win.
To win.
Ugas. People try to say, Ugas didn't try to win. Yes, Ugas did. He tried to win. That's why he got his orbital bone broke. He was
in that Lubin fight. I remember we was doing a live show, and I said when Lubin came out the corner and I seen his face look like that, I said, "Man, stop this fight! Stop the fight!" I'm saying, stop the fight. Lubin ended up getting a knockdown. I said, "What? Hold on! Don't stop the fight." That just goes to show you some people got a heart to do that. And these guys, they say they got the Mexican warrior heart and all that shit, but it just doesn't look like it. I'm sorry, it doesn't.
Bro, let me tell you something. Julio Cesar Chavez had a great heart. People say he was a Mexican warrior, an Aztec warrior, right? Let me tell you something. He quit on the stool. He sat on the stool just like I'm doing right now, and he went like this. And they stopped the fight.
Who he do that against?
I don't,
Who he do that against?
I believe it was who was that? De La Hoya. He quit against Oscar. And
Oscar was getting on his ass. I remember that.
Hold up. And he quit another time. He was a double quitter. I want to say the Costa Zoo fight. I want to say Costa Zoo. He quit on the stool. You know what I'm saying? So, all these guys, man, that be talking like they go out, these guys quit on the stool, man. And he's considered, and I love the guy, but I have to call it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? You quit on the stool, you quit. He also retired in his last fight that he ever fought. He quit on the stool. You know what I'm saying? So these guys, you know what I'm saying? Once a guy quit, He acquitted.
Yeah, he quit against Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya made that motherfucker quit.
Yeah, and not only when Oscar made him quit, Oscar then went and pumped him. You know what I'm saying? And was pumping, like this on him. He was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm literally rewatching that shit right
yeah.
now.
Oscar, and like I said, the guy also did the exact same thing in his last fight. He quit. Once a guy quit, Art Man, that opens the floodgate. They'll quit again. It's just like if your girl cheat on you once, she gonna cheat again. Just what it is, brother.
Oscar was putting it
Billy
on.
Joe Saunders, and listen, Cozy, you could go back and you can Google this, and there's videos. Billy Joe Saunders never even had a broken orbital bone. It was all propaganda and lies to make him feel good. Yeah, because he quit. A lot of British fighters quit because in their culture, it's okay to stop when you had enough. You know what I'm saying? Here in this country, as you know, especially in sports, if you quit during competition, that's the worst thing you can do. But in Great Britain, they okay with it. Why you think they cheer guys after they quit? They pat them on the back and say you did a good job.
You can't quit here. You try to quit here, they like, oh no, I pay money. I pay money for this. I pay money for this. He said the boys was getting his ears boxed off. Billy Joe was winning rounds, which is what made his shit so trash.
Hey, look, man, it goes. I tell people all the time, but a lot of times in the ring, a personality, that them traits come out when it's time to quit. If guys got quit in them, it'll come out in the ring. It'll come out in the ring. Period, man.
Man, I'm watching this Oscar De La Hoya versus Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. And I'm just looking at how he got cut in the very first round from a right hand. Can you imagine if Bivol cuts Canelo like that?
Well, see,
I also think about that. Yeah. Before you go on, I got one more thing to say. This is what I'm thinking about when it comes to that fight. I'm thinking like, if you look at history shows that the guy's going to go in there and lay down, basically.
Right.
But now when you talk about what ifs, man, what if the guy's not part of the script and he actually goes in there and starts off?
Hey, give me the charge.
What happens to Canelo Alvarez and team and fans?
If he go out there and get knocked out?
If you go out there and don't get knocked out, but just go in there and get hurt, make it to the 12th round, and they still give it to Canelo, but we all can tell he got his ass whooped.
Right. His fans are making an excuse and say he had an off night. But see, Art Man, what I was going to say was this, brother. These situations make me yearn for the older days because Canelo is still picking up a lot of European fighters. Like we sitting up here talking about Bivol, but Bivol isn't James Toney or Roy Jones or anybody that we even think is really going to be out there.
The man don't even have 20 fights.
Don't even have 20 fights. And he ain't knocked out but half of the guys. And the majority of the people that he beat, we don't even know. And then I keep hearing people talk about Joe Smith. I like Sloppy Joe. He a good fighter to a degree, but he ain't no world killer. He is not no world killer, bro. Joe Smith is just Joe Smith. If Joe Smith is your best win, I mean, come on, man. Joe Smith had been beat.
I honestly feel like
by journeyman.
I feel like Charlo has more knockouts than Bivol has fights.
You're probably right. You're probably 100%
When I
right.
told people, when I saw people on Facebook, on Twitter, I said, "Yo, Canelo has 30 more fights than Bivol has. 30.
Right.
It's not just 30. It's a little over 30.
More than
To be honest.
Canelo got more knockouts than he got fights.
Nigga, double. I think it's. Hold on, no.
Canelo definitely got more.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And y'all want to tell me that this guy, he never had no pay-per-view fight. I'm pretty sure he never fought in front of 7,000 people, 8,000 people, especially people screaming at him in a whole nother language he don't speak.
But he understand Canelo. Ain't that what he said? He said Canelo. How can you cheer for the guy that's about to hit you in your face?
He was cheering?
Yeah. This happened at a press conference when they arrived in Vegas on Monday. Yeah. He said they was interviewing him, and it was a small clip, and he said, Canelo. That's what he said. Cheering the guy on. This stuff is crazy, man. You can't make this stuff up, man.
I'm looking at this shit right now. This nigga got no fans. They literally looking at you like the next Canelo victim.
Right.
You're the walking Canelo victim. You're not Bivol.
Absolutely.
Oh, you know, whenever they pull out this Spanish interviewer, just know it's a Canelo show. It ain't gonna be riding that man nuts all night. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I want y'all to see what I'm talking about. Whenever y'all see this lady, just know if she's there for a Canelo fight, we talking about bona fide nut riding. This lady right here. I think she worked for DAZN. But yeah, I'm over here watching. I'm seeing.
NJP, what's up, man?
So I think we should see a Canelo upset this weekend. It's always going to be a Canelo upset this weekend.
Right. Cozy, I can't wait till we talk about that too, Cozy. I got a lot to say about that too, brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to shoot on all that. I'm ready.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go to the Serrano fight, then we're going to talk about the Shakur situation.
Okay. Let me tell you this right here. Before I even break down her fight, this is all that people need to know about Amanda Serrano. Before the fight, during the fight, all I heard is that this was the biggest women fight in the history of boxing. And that they were the best fighters ever in boxing. Right? This is what a lot of us heard. Okay. So after the fight, I'm gonna go back to the fight. After the fight, I see this lady lost the fight. She lost the decision. Instead of being furious, and I'm talking about beside herself, she was like, I can't wait to start spending this money. Then yesterday posted a video.
She posted a video where? I think your mic cut off.
At the mall. Where she posted a video at the mall saying, I'm spending some of this money. So all the respect I have for her went out the window. Cozy, you right. Break down the fight. It was a fight of two women that just went out there scrapping. And that's good, but had she used a jab, she would have stopped Katie Taylor. And
I didn't know Katie Taylor was that kind of built up like that. She got a stack.
You talking about in shape?
Yeah.
What, Cozy, you got to tell me what I mean when I say you're not serious. But But like I said, she didn't use a jab. Katie Taylor was exhausted. Both of them was exhausted in the fight. And you mean to tell me that these girls were talking about they want 3-minute rounds?
Pernell Whitaker was at Joe Smith Jr.'s versus Bivol fight. I didn't even know that. I put the camera on him. Rest in peace to that brother. That's just crazy.
Rest in peace, Sweet Pea. I mean, it's just crazy, man. Amanda Serrano was disappointed. To be honest, it was a good slugfest or a good scrap, but it wasn't a lot of skill in that fight. And I know my man Cried loved Amanda Serrano, but bro, it should be no more talk at this point about her being so skilled.
I ain't gonna lie. I tried to watch that fight. I started watching it, and I was like, hell no, this shit, I don't know.
She is happy. She's a happy loser, Cozy. She's a happy loser. I've never in my life seen someone so excited and was like, we've done so much for women boxing. And
you see, she had all them fights, and they talking about she just not able to afford a truck.
Yeah.
So of course she ready to spend this money.
Bro, she a happy loser, man.
She in the mall looking like Jennifer Lopez. What you talking about? Put a little makeup over them bruises. She good. She about to hit the club. Julie, stop hating.
Hey, I guess that's what she about to do. And I'm cool with that. But let's just put it out there that that's what you are. Don't put it out there that you some serious boxer like that. Many Mill. That's a great fight, man. It all depends, bro. It all depends on, what weight class, what time of their career. Because Pete could fight, man, and if you caught him early in his career at lightweight before the drugs, it's just a whole big shebang. I just
feel like in that fight, Floyd will have to work at a work rate he ain't never worked at before.
Yeah, he gonna have to now. I mean, hey.
It's not gonna be an easy fight. That's the type of fight that I think you'll fuck around to see 2 fights out of that.
Oh, you might see 3, but
exactly.
But then guys wasn't afraid to lose. And the one part that I hate the worst about that is that Floyd kind of came onto the scene when Pernell was on his way out. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, great fighter all the way to the end. Rest in peace, man. I met him before, man, and the part that I like is I'm 5'4". Me and the guy was looking each other eye to eye. So this guy did this, short, and he went all the way up to 154, won world titles, was one of the greatest body punches, that ever lived. Rest in peace, man.
You know who look up to him?
Who that?
Shakur Stevenson.
Absolutely. He stole some of his moves, as a matter of fact.
Now, a lot of people seen my tweet directed towards Shakur Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
And some people understood what I was saying, but a lot of people
went over their head, man.
It went over their head. Now, what happened was Shakur Stevenson posted something about. Hold on, let me go to it. I want to read it word for word because people like, man, somebody even had the nerve to say Shakur Stevenson checked me. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And I'm glad you said something about it, because when Evan Korn tried to, slide in there and do that talk, Shakur checked him. And that's why I said, and it got a lot of likes, but no comments behind it. I said, you see, you tried to play that black on black thing and it didn't work out for you. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur checked him for that. So even though Shakur didn't agree with what you were saying, which you was 100% right. You was 100% right.
This is what happened. So O'Shaquie Foster, who is the #1 WBC contender for that green strap that Shakur Stevenson kindly took over Valdez. took from Valdez. So O'Shaquie Foster, he posts, man, he said, man, my position won't change. I'm coming for that green strap 100%. And he tagged Mauricio Suleiman or whatever. So Shakur Stevens said, understood, champ. Everybody will get their turn when his time is right. Question mark face. And then somebody said, I was actually replying to some dude named Abdul said, he said, let him join the queue and wait for their time to come. And I said, hold on, man. That sounds like duck sauce to me. In boxing, when you become the champ, that don't mean you take a break. That means you defend the belt against the top mandatory contender. Shakur don't get that Canelo treatment. I said that right. And
that's what you said.
Shakur Stevenson, he seen it and he said, LOL, I get whatever treatment I want. I earn my way here by fighting real fighters. These dudes can't just skip the line. Tell them to fight each other in Canelo's words. And do you hating a little too much? You gotta chill.
Yeah,
And then I said, hold on, in reply to that, I said, don't get it twisted. We respect you, but beating Valdez don't mean you get to fight Bones till you retire. Now it's time that you fight other guys like O'Shaquie Foster, your number one WBC Mando. Don't be like Valdez. Give this brother a shot.
And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm just gonna speak the same thing I would say if O'Shaquie was on. What's up, Dion? If O'Shaquie was up here, Devin Haney, whoever the fighter was, I'm gonna keep it consistent. I feel that these brothers need to make a pact to fight one another. They'll help each other out. Yeah, I mean, there are times when a mandatory doesn't make sense. I will agree. If he had 3 belts and it was a super fight out there for the 4th belt, I would say O'Shaquie should wait. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but in this situation, it's not that. He got 2 titles, and the other 2 titles are with guys that are not even in his promotional outfit, that got mandatories, and that ain't gonna fight him probably anyway. So the best thing would be to do is to fight O'Shaquie Foster. He one of the top 3 guys for Shakur to fight right away, because the Lomachenko fight probably ain't happening, because I keep trying to tell people this thing is political. It's beyond boxing. That's why he hasn't fought. That's why Usyk hasn't fought. You know what I'm saying? So I think O'Shaquie Foster should get the first, fight. And listen, O'Shaquie's talented, but I think Shakur beats him anyway.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, y'all thinking I'm talking about I ain't say he gonna lose.
Right.
I just said I want to see it. Get him another fight.
Absolutely. And the brother should get it.
I love me some O'Shaquie Foster, but yeah, Shakur get that ass.
Yeah, but O'Shaquie deserves his shot, though.
Exactly. I'm just trying to get O'Shaquie some bread because his career was on ice for a little bit, and the last time he had a fight, they tried. The fight before that, they tried to cheat him. So I'm just trying to get
loaded gloves, right?
And yeah. One thing I don't understand is how do these people pick and choose which fighters get protection? Because I already see that the bigots are trying to tokenize Shakur like they have Bud, and I don't want that to happen. Now,
and it's the exact same tweet I said right after that, because I'm like, yo, don't do this. Don't try to do this, man, because it's already one thing that y'all trying to say he ain't black because he got this Puerto Rican heritage or whatever. It's like, dude, it's okay. He could be black and Puerto Rican at the same time, like you say, right? But don't go here and say, oh, nah, I like Shakur because he's different. He's not like the rest of you blacks. Like, hell no. Don't try to do that shit, man.
And my thing is,
somebody said, hold on, my dude in the chat, he said, Art, you straight up raw dog for calling out Shakur, no breaks. Go fight other top dogs. Keep it moving.
But my thing is, what we got to understand, people, Oscar Valdez was never a top dog. He had just not fought shit. What, Burchell? Bro, Burchell had been knocked out by a bum prior to that, and as you see in his very next fight, he got fucking stopped. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is not the shit on Shakur. He has not graduated to the A level yet. He has yet to graduate, which is why we're pushing him so hard. If he had just done some crazy shit like decision Lomachenko, we'd be like, hey, homie, go ahead, take some rest. Fight this week, motherfucker. Like Archie Sharp. He's like telling Archie Sharp, you got to do something. I'm like, first of all, Archie Sharp. Yeah, I'm like, first of all, Archie Sharp is the number one for the WBO, so he's already fought his way up. Second of all, that's an easy ass paycheck. What are you talking about? Archie Sharp is garbage. like, what do you mean? You should be begging for that fight. Archie Sharp is nothing.
Even the big man of the house, top rank, Bob Arum, he said, man, basically, fuck them goddamn belts, man. It don't mean shit. And let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Yes, being unified is something to be happy about. Yes, you have accomplished a lot. But Bob Arum is like, man, you know, I've been doing this shit for a long time, man. You can have all the belts. It don't even matter. Javante, what belt does Javante have? But everybody know Javante. What the fuck?
That's because Bob doesn't want to make. That's because Bob doesn't want to make the unifications.
Javante could be fighting for the motherfucking.
Yeah, but he's only saying that now because he knows that the other two belts are at other promoters, and he doesn't want to make the unifications for Shakur. And you know what? At first, I was kind of like, you know what? Yeah, let Shakur hang out at 130 and handle business. But not even because Bob is unwilling to make the unifications, but because y'all been talking so much shit about who Shakur washes and Keyshawn Davis. Don't even get me started on Keyshawn Davis. But y'all been talking to Grip. Let Shakur go up and wait and cook everybody. Let Shakur go up and wait and either knock out or embarrass everybody. And then we'll see what's what. It's okay. Because, like, it's funny because, like, people, like, for example, nobody said Devin Haney was Mayweather. Right? Nobody said that. People that didn't like Devin Haney from the get-go kept saying he's not Mayweather. but then I keep hearing that Shakur is Mayweather, and I'm like, they fight nothing alike. If 130 Pretty Boy was in there with Oscar Valdez, do you think that shit would have went the distance?
No,
he would have stopped him in 5. So,
but the other thing is, and that just shows people how light years ahead guys like Mayweather and there's other guys too, man, are than some of the fighters now because they just knew different ways. And Shakur and those guys been to the international level, but that still doesn't mean professional boxing, how to break guys down. And that's all of them. Devin, even Tank. You know what I'm saying? I've seen fighters that can't even punch like Tank that would have stopped Isaac Cruz. You got to learn how to run guys into shots, placement, you know what I'm saying? Punch placement. It's just a lot of stuff. But D-Hive, I'm going to say this about Shakur. I think that Shakur should really vacate and go right on to 135 and, talk to Suleiman and become a mandatory at one of those titles at 135. I think he should go straight up there. I don't think he need to play with any more fights at 130. Go straight to 135.
I was gonna say,
yo, hold on. Yo, my bad, my phone's tripping. Y'all seen y'all just talking about Shakur Stevenson fighting somebody at a higher weight class?
No, I was saying that. Yeah, I said that he should vacate. I said that he should vacate the 130-pound title immediately. He's already unified. He doesn't have to be undisputed. He can go up to 35 and say, look, I want to exercise my mandatory with the WBC or the whatever, WBO. Don't matter. And fight next, Devin or Camosis.
I was going to say, he should do that weak-ass title defense with Archie Sharp while Kambosos and Haney get it in, and then challenge whoever through the WBO. That's easy.
Yeah. Well, if that's the way, then that's the way.
No. He should fight O'Shaquie Foster and then wait for fucking Haney versus.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Art man. I don't think he should fight Archie Sharp or Shakur Foster. I think he need to go right on to 35. If he's gonna stay at 30, fight O'Shaquie Foster. If you're gonna stay at 130, fight O'Shaquie Foster. But if you're not, go on up to 35. Go on up to 35, and let's go ahead and get it started. Because look, the man had to weigh in butt naked to make 130. No reason to burn yourself out in another camp for 130 for a guy, even though Oshaki is a brother, and I want to see the brother get an opportunity. If you know that you're going to struggle to make the weight, go ahead and go up to 35. Or, go on up there if you want to take a non-title fight at 35 while you wait for Devin or Kambosos, do it. But get it, but move on up and challenge the
fight Richard Coleman.
No, fight Lomachenko.
Fight Richard Coleman. That's
fine.
Fight
Lomachenko. Get his ass up out the way.
Lomachenko ain't gonna fight him.
I know.
If Lomachenko fights Shakur, it'll be after he done went to 35, won some belts, and then he in a corner where he got to. But hey, I'm ready to see that fight, and I'm glad that we was talking because I had been on another show and I had to, and me and D-Hive, Art Man, you didn't even know we had had some words in regards to that fight that happened. In regards to our brother Devin Haney and his father. Soon as they seen Canelo walk through the arena, they asked for a picture again. Like, now every time you see Canelo, you want to get pictures. Like, man, stop all this, man. Hey, Cozy, I'm about to say it, bro.
You know what?
That's 100%.
Okay, in that situation, you know what I think it is? I think it's the pops, Devin Haney's pops, man.
He cooning.
He playing that role like, man, my son, I gotta make sure my son get that money. My son,
see, Julius, I said it was Bill.
You did say it was Bill, and I agree with you. It's Bill, but listen, his son already getting a payday. He got a contract. He
like, man, nah, nigga, I got more sons, nigga. I need that money. You know what I'm saying?
And plus, Haney getting shorted for this deal anyway. This ain't even close to the bread he should be getting.
Man. Bill Haney's cooning. Positive PR cooning.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I said his pops probably like, man, we need that generational 100 million Canelo type of money.
Cooning.
So my son need to take as many pictures as he wants.
He's cooning. That's cooning.
You ain't never gonna have Bill on this.
Cooning.
You ain't never gonna have Bill on this motherfucker.
Yeah, he's professionally cooning. That's cooning. He didn't have to take no more pictures. We already got him 2 times before seeing Canelo. I can hear him now. Hey, Saul.
Hey, brother. Check this out.
Yeah, come on, man.
I tried to play devil's advocate because Bob was sitting to the left of them, and I just assumed that Canelo was trying to go to Bob Arum, because Better Be Even Joe Smith unifying, trying to see what he was talking about, and them niggas just happened to be in the way.
Yeah, right. They wanted to get in, and they would tap. Well, Bill, I'll give it to you right now, and just say Bill. Bill went over there buck dancing. And electric slide right over there to Canelo again.
But I like Bill,
showing his teeth.
I like Bill and Haney, man. It's just that, I feel like they feel like if they rub enough elbows, they could put themselves in position to make a lot of money.
Bro, I'm gonna say again.
Hopefully, they taking get on the Canelo undercard.
With Canelo is not gonna make your. I mean, I'm just.
He might
maybe I'm confused.
Fight on the Canelo undercard. You never know, man.
Well, he had a chance, right? When he was with Eddie Hearn. He had a chance with Eddie Hearn.
If he takes some more pictures, it might help his chances.
Okay.
Canelo might try to sign a nigga.
Yeah, he might. Buck dancing.
Oh, damn.
Buck dancing. Hey, a thug that buck dance. Because that's what he presents himself as, a thug. But I just see a lot of buck dancing.
I don't get thug vibes from Bill Haney.
Why not? Did you read the stuff I told you to go and read?
I mean, I read some of it, but like I'm talking about his current.
You talking about the current basis? I mean, okay,
yeah,
I'll feel you on that.
Yeah, he doesn't present himself as a thug type. Like at least that's not what I'm getting. He over here, like you said, with brand new teeth and clean t-shirts and look like a thug.
Buck dancer.
Damn.
He's graduated to be a professional buck dancer.
Bill, anybody that works at Snack and Bomac cannot come on this motherfucker, man.
Okay, but what about
they will get
Reynoso praising Charlo?
Reynoso was in no position to talk down about anybody after this weekend.
Bro,
he did a piss poor job in the corner. He didn't really train this guy. I mean, what else could Reynoso do except praise anybody that they asked him about? And I'm being honest, because normally you at your most humble when you have been humbled. Shakur beat him up, and then Shakur said, I beat all y'all tonight. So I felt like Reynoso was
That's
humble.
tough, if you ask me. That's super tough. Him saying that, because I ain't gonna lie. I don't care if you 10 years younger than me, nigga, or 15 years younger than me. You ain't gonna be dissing me like that in front of me, right in front of my face, talking about some, I beat you and your whole team, nigga. I'd have been like, well, shit. How I would have played it off, I would have said some slick shit like, yeah, you beat Valdez, but you're not beating me, though.
Hey, look. They didn't say nothing about it. They were humble.
Like, yeah,
because Shakur was right.
You're not beating my team. You beat him. Then Valdez probably would have been looking at me sideways, but hey, nigga.
And you know what? PBC actually uploaded Areola versus Ruiz today, and I watched it again. I'm like, man, this nigga Reynoso was exposed right here.
Absolutely. That was the worst Ruiz ever looked.
I've been saying Reynoso was like this, and people were saying, oh, Art, man, you just hate him. And they was like, you know what they said? They was telling me, I remember this specifically because they told me it don't matter because Errol Spence, he ain't fight all year, and Charlo had a draw with Castano.
Right. I mean, Reynoso, man, it's like something I said on another show, and I've probably said it here too. There are times in life, in boxing and other sports, where you fall into a situation where you don't have to do nothing. Manny Pacquiao fell in Freddie Roach's lap. Freddie Roach tried to say he taught Manny Pacquiao the right hook. The guy had won a world title before he even got to him. You get what I'm saying? Canelo is a real good fighter. Do you think that he couldn't put one of us in his corner and beat Bivol or Billy Joe or Rocky Feldman? Like, same thing with Bud Crawford and Big Mac. Like, come on, man. These guys add nothing to the fighting except they probably like their company and probably make them feel good personally before a fight.
Hey,
but as far as
nothing. Oscar De La Hoya responded to Canelo saying he's unloyal comments.
Mm-hmm.
He said this. He said, "Don't quote me on this," but he said something to the effect of that the reason why Canelo may feel that he's unloyal because he suggested that he adds another trainer or finds a new trainer instead of sticking with just Reynoso.
Well, Oscar De La Hoya would be the person to talk to because Oscar
said it. He said it.
But let me tell you, Oscar switched trainers.
Hold on, Julius, because I remember Canelo said, he said, Oscar's disloyal because he switches trainers, multiple trainers. He's disloyal. Right. Remember, he responded that way, saying that.
I mean, that's facts. Oscar did change trainers a lot, but you know what? Oscar, in all sports, they change coaches. That ain't got nothing to do with loyalty, bro. That got to do with wanting to win. If you can't get the results, if you got a coach in any sport and you don't be at your best when you need to be at your best, you have to make a change, especially in boxing, because your life is on the line. If Shakur was a more aggressive fighter, he could have ended Valdez's career. And that's being honest. All Shakur had to do was take some more chances. Like really take chances, man. He could have ended that guy's career, and it would have been because of Reynoso. So you can worry about a guy's feelings. Like I said, man, if that Earl Spence and Bud Crawford fight come down to trainers, man, Terrence Crawford could end up in that fight leaving on a stretcher. Damn. So I'm just telling y'all, man, that leaving these trainers is real important in boxing. Because your life is on the line. Look at Buddy McGirt. Guys have lost their life with him as the trainer. Guys have gotten brain injuries. Guys have taken severe beatings. Paulie Malignaggi, I mean, none of us are Paulie fans, but go listen to Paulie Malignaggi talk about when he fought Ricky Hatton, how he took the worst beating he had ever taken in his life because he had Buddy McGirt in the corner. Just telling y'all.
No, yeah, Buddy McGirt, he's never been famous for anything. Like Freddie Roach can coach basically what fighters already know, but he can't coach defense. Another coach that needs to be exposed is Joel Diaz. I remember back when Joel Diaz used to coach Timothy Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, just so unhelpful, screaming in the corner. What are you doing? Don't you not to get started? Like you halfway speaking Spanish, and I was so glad when I don't like Teddy Atlas either, but I was happy when Tim Bradley switched to Teddy Atlas because he got more work done. But
Teddy Atlas is another gamer.
Oh shit, my bad. Hey man, hold on. Y'all still talking about the Eddie Reynoso situation?
Kinda.
Yeah. So man, yes, I just feel like he failed Valdez, man, and he knows that he had a bigger assignment at hand. Canelo versus Bivol.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't training with nobody, because he's like, first of all, Ryan Garcia is a part-timer. He doesn't want to put in any of the work. Andy Ruiz fat ass don't want to put in any of the work, and Oscar Valdez gonna lose. So he was like, fuck it, I might as well hang out with Canelo because he's the one paying the bills. He the one keeping the lights on. He the one getting ready to make like what, 50 million off this bullshit.
I mean, it's just like, bro, if you a basketball coach and LeBron James tell you that he ain't subbing out in the game, are you gonna fuss and say, LeBron, you getting out of this game? I'm putting someone in. No, you're gonna say, all right, LeBron. So if Canelo told him to leave a fighter, he'll leave that fighter. You know what I'm saying? And Reynoso, like you say, I mean, he just riding the wave. When Canelo leaves the sport, Reynoso and his father gonna leave the sport right with him.
I seen a post in one of the Facebook groups. It had a picture of Derrick James, like, in shape for his age, and it had a picture of Reynoso all fat and sloppy. And I'm like, they said, y'all see the difference in coaches?
Well, Derrick James, and that's another thing, Derrick James was a fighter. And like I say, I give Derrick James credit because 95%, not just 95%, I think 100% of everything Earl Spence does come from the teachings of Derrick James, teaching him the fundamentals of boxing at 15, and everything that he do in the gym. He hit the bag the same way he fight. He hit the mitts the same way he fights. That's a trainer right there, bro.
That's what's so crazy about Errol Spence, because you can watch his fights leading up, and I swear to God, he was running them combinations on Ugas ass.
Same exact thing.
I was like, oh my God.
Beehive, I said that on the live. I said it was the 5th round. I said, bro, every combination he threw on the bag, the heavy bag, he did it in that round.
Bro, he turned Ugas into a fucking heavy bag. That shit was disgusting.
I was like, oh God.
But look though, man, and I hate to talk about other sports, but that's what you're supposed to do. Like everything you practice. If you go into a football game, why will you run plays you ain't practice? Run the plays you practice if you got a good game plan. Derrick James is the best trainer in boxing. And the other guy I was going to say that's one of the best trainers in boxing ain't really training as much now. That's Floyd Sr. Floyd Sr. has a difficult time.
And Mike Stafford, what you think about him?
Mike who?
Stafford.
Mike from Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Ask Jamel Herring about him. I don't even want to get on Mike Stafford. I like him. I like Mike Stafford as a person, but no, man. I know I probably sound like the drunk uncle talking junk at the cookout, but don't start talking about Mike Stafford because you're gonna talk about. You might as well talk about my man from Cuba. You know what I'm saying? What my man from Cuba name?
But didn't Mike Stafford
Salas?
train AB? Or am I tripping?
Huh?
Didn't he train AB?
Yeah. And look at AB. Fight with his legs pulled so far apart. You know what I'm saying? Trying to check hook off of straight right hands and pull back too far. Like, come on, man. He's a great amateur trainer. He has those guys in the amateurs doing good. But bro, he's a great professional butt kisser too. You know what I'm saying? Anything AB wanted to do, the dude didn't teach him nothing. AB was winning fights. God, I hate to do that because I like AB. Yep, got to do it anyway. AB was winning fights, bro, because he won't beat nobody, man. All that AB showed is that he had a great chin and he was tough. You tell me the technical things that AB do that make you say, woo, boy, Mike Stafford taught him great. Just one thing. That's all, Art, man.
They look nice on the pads.
A lot of fighters look nice on the pads, hitting the mitts.
Mini Mills, Zagano bots know. That's where you're wrong. A lot of the African American boxing style comes from maximizing. A lot of the African American boxing style comes from maximizing natural attributes. Like, for example, y'all talking about AB. Another one of the reasons why he won a lot of his fights was because AB had very fast twitch muscle fibers, and he had incredible reflexes. He was really quick. That's why his hands were so fast. Mm-hmm. That's why his defense was so tight, and he could avoid a lot of shots by very quickly moving his head.
Who we talking about?
AB.
AB who? AB who?
Adrian Broner.
When he was fighting who?
He had a lot of like when he was fighting Vargas. Even I know he lost to Porter, but when he was fighting Porter. When he was fighting his recent fight Santiago, when he was fighting D-Hive, I got to give it to you. You're a great guy because what you just said about Adrian Broner, you sound better than his brother and them talking about him. Because his brother said, man, you look bad. That guy did not. He had fast twitch, but he wasn't the quickest fighter. And his defense wasn't tight. He had low quality of opposition. Go back and look at his opposition up until he fought Paulie Malignaggi. No, Julius, I'm talking about even when he lost. Even in fights where he lost, he still exhibited, very quick head movement, and he was able to bend at the waist really quick, something that him and Floyd had in common, which is why people tried to compare the two when they first started.
Wow, and I remember. Yeah, I didn't see it.
But what I was gonna say is that Mexican fighters need to utilize their assets and what they're best at, and train under people like Nacho Beristain.
Nacho can train. Yes.
Nacho Beristain knows how to train fighters, and he knows how to maximize.
But he almost 90 years old, though. That's the only downside.
Well, yeah, I understand he can't train nobody for real, but I mean, like, they should get under people like him.
Yeah.
Eric Morales is also a good trainer.
Yeah, look what Eric Morales did with Jaime Munguia, even though his competition is ass.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It was people act like Canelo's the first Mexican to ever have good boxing. And I like the guy Manning saying Salvador Sanchez, but Salvador Sanchez boxed at a time when even I was not old enough to watch Salvador, and then he got killed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, none of us really saw him live. But I can tell you guys like Morales, Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez, those Mexicans could box your socks off. And they could brawl. The Mexicans now, they can only pretty much brawl. Left hook to the body, and they get happy about that. They didn't look at Chavez's career.
What do you think about Robert Garcia?
Robert Garcia is a good trainer. I think that
one-dimensional though.
Yeah, I think he diverse if he get a fighter that is a puncher, he'll train him to punch. Because you gotta look, man. Robert Garcia and his father Eduardo could train. They could train, but you have to go back, man. And I'm being honest. Go back and look at tapes of guys like Fernando Vargas. Look at Robert Garcia as a fighter, and you will see that those guys were more technically sound than Mikey Garcia was. Mikey just a little more talented than Robert, but Robert was better fundamental. The father, which now the grand, you know what I'm saying, the old man, he was a real good technical boxer, a technical trainer. And guess what he did? He picked oranges. So, yeah, that's what he did for a living. He picked oranges. You know what I'm saying? So, it's trainers out there that can train without all the hoopla. Like I say, Eduardo Garcia, Robert Garcia's father, was a great trainer. And he brought Fernando, Robert, and even Mikey, all those guys when they were little. Think about this. Look at the success that Mikey had as a pro with only like 25 amateur fights. That comes from straight training. You know what I'm saying? In the gym.
Right. Yeah. No, definitely. But I don't think, just to answer, just to say his question, answer his question, I don't think that that's a good idea because the styles wouldn't mesh in how they fight, and the physical attributes wouldn't go. Because, like, let's say Valdez tried to fight like Shakur. He don't have the reflexes for that shit.
Right.
He doesn't have the reach for that shit. He doesn't have the size. He doesn't have the reflexes. He doesn't have the footwork. There's a lot of things that he just doesn't have. And honestly, there were moments of vulnerability that Valdez could have capitalized on, and he just didn't. But when people,
our natural athleticism is an unfair advantage.
Yeah, motherfuckers say one dude even said that Fury needs to be on steroids in order to fight Wilder because otherwise it's not fair. I was like, wow, you're kind of
I'm gonna tell you was talking D-Hive, and I started thinking about guys that weren't talented. Well, they were talented, but they didn't have the athleticism, but were still able to beat athletic black fighters. And Chavez and Tito Trinidad came to mind. And I'm gonna tell you how they beat great black talent that can move. Timing. You got to have superb timing, and you can't be afraid to get hit. These guys, even in a boxing match, they say they're not afraid, but once they start feeling them punches upside their head and their body, they do not. And me and Art Man already talked about this today. At somewhere around the 4th or 5th round, Valdez made a professional decision that he was just going to survive the fight. He wasn't going to fight to win no more. He wanted to survive and say he lasted 12 rounds. That was the difference between a lot of guys. He wasn't trying to win.
Yeah, he didn't want to get stopped. Like I always compare Valdez's performance to Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. After the 5th round, Danny Garcia just said, "Oh man, hell no, I'm just not gonna get hit no more like that." It just like
Facts boxing plug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the difference, and I always say that the only reason why, because people like to compare Danny Garcia and Ugas, now they both fought Earl. The only reason that Danny did better was because he had the sense to move his damn feet. Ugas was so old when the body shots hit him, he couldn't move his diaphragm to get his legs going. He just sat there and prayed Earl will stop. He was just like, fucking stop hitting me, goddamn.
Gladiator fighting, stop it, man. Vladimir Klitschko had some athleticism. Usyk got some athleticism, and let me tell you this: there's never been a more athletic boxer than Roy Jones Jr. You forget he played semi-pro basketball. Tim Witherspoon, and I know that was before your time, and the only reason I'm saying it is because you said natural athleticism. Natural athleticism. Terrible. Tim Witherspoon was a collegiate football player and won the heavyweight world title. So, bro, Stop it with that natural athleticism. I can talk about guys, man, from the 70s that could throw the football 70 yards that were also. Look at James Toney. James Toney went to the same football camp that Deion Sanders went to before Deion Sanders went to the Florida State. And if you think I'm lying, Google this. James Toney knocked Deion Sanders unconscious. They was at a football camp together because James Toney was an all-state quarterback. So, bro, stop with all the athleticism talk unless you really know what you're talking about. And Vladimir Klitschko was a good boxer. He couldn't play no basketball or football or nothing like that.
And also, what's most important about that is Vladimir Klitschko was not really that athletic. What happened was he was the
facts plug.
When it comes to the heavyweight division, Vladimir Klitschko was just the first of this current generation of bigs. He was just a giant because at first the heavyweight division was filled with relatively normal sized people that range from 5'10" to 6'2" at around 210 to 220 pounds.
Well, Lennox Lewis was in there too.
That's what I'm saying. They were the first era of bigs,
right? Exactly
in the heavyweight division. So, and not to mention, he wasn't more athletic because he got knocked. Vladimir got knocked out by 3 fucking bums. People that we're not even talking about today.
I mean, but you know why? Because those guys could fight. He lost to Layman Brewster, and he lost a couple fights the same exact way. Those guys were able to make him tired. Charlie Burley was one of the greatest fighters to ever live, and he was the Black Murderers Row. Murderers Row, absolutely. And come on, Gladiator. I think Gladiator is one of those guys that's just coming on trying to troll.
Yeah, he's just trying to derail the conversation.
Yeah, I got you. I feel you, Gladiator.
Yeah, he's garbage. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
All right, yeah, he just trolling now.
It's just like when they talk. It's just like when they talk about Tyson Fury, not understanding that he's just huge. He's just bigger than everybody.
Right.
And when you're bigger than everybody, that means that there's less ring for you to cover. It's kind of like Usain Bolt. The reason why he's quicker than everybody is just because he has to take less steps.
Right. He's 6'5".
Yeah, he physically has to take fewer steps than the rest of the athletes, so he's going to do better than a lot of other people when he can move that quickly.
Also, your man Victor Conte said that those guys are probably on steroids over there in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't got no regulation on drugs down there.
Yeah. They drug testing department was a closet.
Yeah,
I ain't making this. It was on Real Sports, but anyway, yeah.
I mean the same as in Russia. Russia, they had a whole documentary about how the government sanctions their cheating.
Mini Mill. I don't know if Andre Ward was a modern day Charles Burley because the issue that I got with him is that he did everything right. He did everything great. He just didn't fight enough. He only had like 30 fights, and I just would have loved to see him come an era before he came and see how he would have did against Tony or Roy. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that.
I'm glad he came.
Antonio Tarver and all those guys.
I'm glad he came when he did because I'm not gonna lie, them dudes would have been beating on his ass.
Yeah, probably. Look, probably so.
They would
have.
They would have beat his ass because he. I think that he's the type of fighter that, I mean, with all due respect, he's never really been in a position where he had to use a lot of his grit. But with those people you just named, they would have beat up on him. He would have had to pull some grit out, and then he probably would have got knocked out.
And look, it's respect in that in getting knocked out because that means a lot of times that you went out there trying to win. You know what I mean?
For sure, but he just
but you still would have been out there leg twitching and all that stuff.
This Saturday getting close, and it feels like the only people saying this fight is a hard fight is the Canelo fans and you.
No, and that's what's crazy. The Canelo fans, they're not saying it's going to be a hard fight. They're trying to say that Bivol's a good opponent, so don't talk shit when Canelo looks good. I think it's going to be legitimately difficult. They think Canelo just gonna get in there, style on him, and sleep, dude, because that's what they're used to. I think that this is actually gonna be a difficult fight unless the check cleared. unless the check cleared, in which case we don't even have really nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Did you see your man cheering Canelo on?
Which one?
Bivol.
Bill was cheering Canelo on?
Yeah.
Wait, dude, how? They're not even in the ring. What the fuck?
He said Canelo at a when they were doing the interview with him.
Oh, hell no, man.
And I said, you know what I said?
Oh my God, bro.
Check's been cleared. Russia on the way.
Oh my fucking God. And this sucks because he was just talking such big shit about how he's not he's like he's not untouchable. Like he's already lost. It's fine. Now he's over here cheering
they all
and
have
shit.
their own spiel before they get knocked out. Before
Boxing plug. What do we lack? What do Keyshawn lack?
Fucking God, bro.
Go look it up, D-Hive.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up after the live when I'm getting ready to go to bed. Oh my God, this is fucking terrible.
So Cozy said, yeah, I want to know too, boxing plug. What does Keyshawn lack? And I'm glad we up here so we can shoot on that because Keyshawn fought too. And because I was looking at some of the Serrano, I had to turn from that fight to watch Keyshawn Davis.
I was watching the Keyshawn Davis fight on the plane, man. That shit was lit.
Hey, let me say this, man. I continue to say
now,
Art Man, you and D-Hive, I gotta say this, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
From a pure talent, Keyshawn Davis may be the most talented lightweight in the world right now. But it's a lot of other variables go into winning the world title. I know that. But as far as talent goes, the way how relaxed that kid is in the ring, that's something. That's how I know he could fight a 12-round fight against a guy because he's so relaxed. He doesn't rush his punches. He doesn't give you opportunities. He just take it away with little subtle movements, man. Keyshawn Davis is the most talented lightweight in the world. And eventually he'll show it. And when he show it, listen to what I'm going to tell you. It ain't a lightweight in the world that's going to be able to touch it.
Man, I don't know what you're talking about. Devin Haney still alive.
But he'll beat Devin Haney in 12 months.
Okay, for sure.
He don't even feel that way.
And that could easily
He doesn't
happen.
feel that way?
No, he doesn't.
He don't even feel that way.
Let me answer Cozy Rito's question. So, Cozy, what I said about Keyshawn Davis was this. Now, I can appreciate Julius's comments. That's perfectly fine. All that stuff is great. You know, that's fine. But all I'm saying is people are actively saying they need to quote unquote see more from Devin Haney, but then Keyshawn gets all these accolades. I don't want Keyshawn to get disrespect.
I ain't never said that part.
No, I'm not saying you did. I don't want Keyshawn to be disrespected. I want people to put more respect on Haney's name because Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney are the same age. Keyshawn Davis has 5 fights. Devin Haney has 27 fights and is about to fight for undisputed at 135. Mm-hmm. Now, Julius saying that Keyshawn beats Devin Haney in 12 months. That's just, that's a prediction, and that's okay because that could happen, but it could also not happen. Now, as far as him being comfortable, he's incredibly comfortable, probably because he's only had 5 professional fights, and he knows the people he in there with ain't really cracking on nothing. That last guy that he just fought was 18-1. I understand that. Good opponent. But let's keep it real. He's in there with him for a reason. And then even again, Keyshawn Davis was talking about slowing down some of his progression to make sure that he feels like he's ready. So psychologically speaking, that may be a wrinkle. But as far as his physical game, the only part where I saw any sort of issues was just when the guy lunged at him. Fighting off the back foot, he seemed a little bit uncoordinated, a little defensive lapses, didn't really fire or pick his shots going backwards, but that's about it. Everything else is pretty spot on. And, he tripled up that left hook like Bud did the right hook to another guy, and then, he got him smooth up out of there, which is how you're supposed to handle those dudes.
Hey, look, man, I'm going to tell you this, D-Hive. I agree with you about Devin Haney and the situation. And Devin Haney took the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. approach, and I'm talking about turning pro without a real extensive amateur career because Devin never fought in the seniors. He only fought in the juniors. Truck that's in the camp with him. My buddy is his manager. He didn't fight in the seniors. He only had 3 amateur fights in the seniors. He had hundreds in the juniors. Okay, so him turning pro early like that was good because he got a chance to fight grown men. And Keyshawn and the Davis brothers, because it's 3 of them, their father took the approach for them coming because there was a difference. Those boys came from Virginia. Outside of Pernell, Whitaker, Virginia is not a hotbed for boxing. So you're going to have to build yourself and build your name through the nationals and the amateurs. So Keyshawn started fighting men at 18 to, for his amateurs, went all the way to the Olympic silver medal. We know that, okay? So that's the difference between them, because Shakur was also a guy that fought in the amateurs, but he turned pro, a little bit later. And you know what I'm saying? And my thing is this. I'm not saying I will always respect Devin Haney. Devin Haney is about to be something that no one else probably has been in this modern era. That's a 4-belt champion. Devin can fight. I'm never gonna take that from him. But the type of fight the things that I see in Keyshawn Davis is things that you can't teach it. You can't teach it. You were saying that he was comfortable probably because he knew the guy can't hurt him. I give you that, but he got a lot of natural abilities that will carry over in a fight. And as far as Devin, it ain't no knock if he lose to Keyshawn Davis, because Keyshawn Davis is going to move on and win world titles at 140 and 47. And people say, well, how do you think he's going to be able to just beat those guys at the higher weight classes? You know how I know that? Because a lot of these guys, he whooped up on them in the amateurs. And he's going to do the same way in the pros. Normally, and this ain't always, but normally, look at Errol Spence. Look at all the other guys. Mayweather, the top amateurs normally be the best professionals. I'm talking about the elite guys like Boo Boo Andre, Floyd, Keyshawn, Shakur. These guys do the same thing in the pros. Usyk, people like to say Usyk, Errol Spence, top amateurs.
Yeah. No,
in the world, not just in the local, in the world.
In the world, Craig.
In the world,
Craig. In the world, Craig. And like I said, I'm not saying all that. I'm not saying all that is untrue, or anything like that. All I'm saying is that people are sitting here giving Keyshawn all these accolades, and I just don't understand how for some reason, I don't know if it's just Top Rank's marketing or whatever, but somehow we can rate all of those people off the eye test. But when it comes to people like Devin Haney and Boots, who have already put in work, who are either in title position or unifying, all of a sudden as well, we got to see more. We don't know. Like we're already crowning the next crop, and the current crop ain't even put in the work.
You know why that is, man?
Like,
because nobody respect Eddie Hearn matchmaking. And for some reason, every time Devin Haney beats someone, people always discredit it as he fought them at the end of the road. Now, I did say that about Linares, but I thought the Jojo Diaz win was a good win. I felt like that's his best win as a pro, and he looked good doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I give him the credit, but even Top Rank has garbage matchmaking. PBC got the best matchmaking in boxing, period. And look at who Frank Martin and the guys
hold that award.
Yeah, they got all time. Top Rank is the best at making you look great, and giving you the right fights at the right time. But PBC is by far the best matchmakers as far as you fighting guys that are good. And Boxing Plug, Keyshawn is going to be a little better than Shambe, but if he top out as Shambe Mitchell, hey, look, I don't know if you saying it as a slight, but if he tops out at Shambe Mitchell, a 2 or 3-time junior welterweight champion, that's great.
Yeah, and I have high hopes for Keyshawn. I think he is great, but I'm gonna hold off a little bit because, like I said, it's 5 fights. But however, I will say, if they trying to line up Keyshawn for the winner of Haney versus Kambosos, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Lomachenko got too many opportunities early in his career. Let's give Keyshawn the same treatment. I'm all for that.
He a silver medalist, bro, with over 175 amateur fights. Why would he have to fight 20 times in order for us to know if he can fight for the belt? 7 fights, let's go. He's fighting in the lower weight classes. If he was fighting at 168, 175, hey, you don't have to rush because your body can mature. But a guy fighting right now at 23, at 135, he'll have the physical advantages over most of the guys, even if they're a world champion. Because the problem won't be if he beats Devin Haney. Let's say he beats Devin Haney. The issue will be, will he be able to, get up and defend that belt 10 times? That's the only reason you give a guy, in my opinion, you give a guy a steady progression, is because you want them to be able to handle being a world champion. Other than that, you don't have to have a lot of fights in order to fight for the belt.
Well, 135 is not that deep a division to be defending shit 10 times. You got about 5 certifieds and everybody else pretty much trash. So it's just like Shakur's division. Ain't nobody else down there. I mean, me personally, I think that the Japanese dude or Kensei would be his most or Oshaki. Well, those 3 would be his most competitive fights, and they're all good fights. But outside of that, what are we gonna do? I mean, he could fight Hector Luis Garcia, the dude who whooped Colbert's ass, but that would end the same way. So it really, ain't really nothing cracking down there for either one of them if they were to get all the straps anyway. It's not that much work down there.
Facts on Boxing Plug, Dave. Facts. And I'm talking about the Haney versus Shakur be as big as Zab, Judah, and Mayweather. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be huge.
And we both know that those guys were still in their 20s when they fought too. That's the part that I like, D-Hive. That's why I'm pushing for Shakur versus Haney and Shakur versus Aldo guys. And I don't like, and I would say this to them, I don't like the fact that Keyshawn and Shakur are talking about how they won't fight each other. I don't like that.
Yeah, they already said they're not fighting each other.
Yeah, I don't like that. Nah, I ain't down with that.
Shakur said they need 150 million.
Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all, if y'all doing that, what are y'all dating? Like, come on, man. This is boxing. Come on now.
It's funny because people have this thing about belts and shit, but I'm like, Butayev versus Stanionis just showed you how great a fight between 2 undefeated prospects can be. That's why when it comes to Boots and Virgil Ortiz, it's like, come on, bro, let's get it cracking. What the fuck we need belts for?
I see my tweet, right?
Yeah, Butayev versus Stanionis was a super good ass fight, and there were no belts involved. It was an awesome fight that told us a lot about both fighters, and then they can still go on to win titles.
And the thing is, fans knew it was going to be a good fight too, so they were trying to say what's up.
Yeah, they were trying to say it was going to outshine the main event. Oh, it's going to be better than Errol Spence fight.
Man, you know something, D-Hive, Art, man. You know, the guy in the Boxing Plug, Dave, says something about Shambe Mitchell, right? In his 6th fight, he was 6-0, 7-0. He fought a guy, Stevie Johnston, from Denver, Colorado. He was probably 6 or 7-0 at the same time at lightweight. Stevie Johnston knocked out Shambe Mitchell. Shambe Mitchell, years later, 2 or 3 years later, won the world title at 140. And Stevie Johnson won belts at 35. Bro, all the time there have been great non-title fights. Mayweather Marquez, there was no title on the line. Nothing. It was just a regular fight. Like, I don't understand, man. Maybe I'm just a dinosaur. But I just think that these guys need to fight each other. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't Mayweather beat Sean B. Mitchell's ass?
Absolutely. That was his first fight at welterweight.
I was trying to remember. I was like, I was like, wait, didn't Mayweather whoop Sean B. Mitchell?
Yep. But up until that point, Sean B. Mitchell had owned, and that's a good fight. Like, that was a non-title fight. But think about this. Sean B. Mitchell at the time had only lost to Costa Zoo, and Mayweather used him as a tune-up. A tune-up. That's just like if Devin Haney move up to 140 and his first fight would be Regis Prograis in a non-title fight. Now, guys today would say, oh, no, don't do that. Oh, no. God did that. Mayweather did that with Sean B. Mitchell.
That's why I be trying to tell these dudes, they so quick to try to compare Keyshawn or Shakur or even Haney, and I'm like, none of these dudes are Floyd, bro.
No.
I'm like, dude, Floyd would beat the shit out of these boys, man. Like Floyd was crazy. Floyd was a psychopath. I'm like, dudes like Valdez and Nakatila and Burchell, they'd be fucking gone. They wouldn't even be fighting anymore. He beat these dudes into different career paths.
Yeah.
I'm like, you think Mayweather will be in there going fucking 12 with someone as one dimensional as Valdez? He'll get on his ass and have him out of there in 4.
Yeah, he would have knocked out Isaac Cruz too.
And
Linares, all these guys. But man, you gotta live. You gotta learn though. So I'm not gonna be too hard on these guys going 12 rounds because I seen Mayweather do the exact same thing with certain guys. I felt like he should have knocked out. So I mean. You gotta learn.
I'm not hard on them for going 12. I'm hard on people for comparing with all these people. I'm like, dude, Floyd, fucking Lomachenko, Devin Haney, Tank, Keyshawn, Shakur, man.
But here's something that a lot of people don't talk about though. Shakur grandfather can train though. Like that's he technically sound, man.
That's the person who taught Shakur how to box, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I would hope so. He made Shakur.
And that's the thing, though. You don't even know him. Like, it ain't like he got 10 fighters and, you know what I'm saying? Like, man.
Well, I don't think does he have a stable or is he just training?
I don't even think he got a stable.
No, he's focused completely on Shakur, and that's why Shakur turned out so good. Yeah.
Great. A mastermind. You right, Cozy. I mean, he's something, man.
Was he a former pro?
He's the one that said that Black American fighters have it. The reason why we so good is because we have to fight the hardest because nobody gave us nothing in life.
Right.
And we constantly have to go against the system.
And every time we lose, they try to write our entire career off. Like even when we don't lose, fucking Charlo Charlo beat Montiel for 11 rounds. Because of that fight, because he got hit a few times, people are like, oh, he's trash now. It's like, what the fuck? Did you not watch the entire fight where he was beating his ass? Like, what are you talking about?
Facts, man. But man, who's on the undercard of the Canelo fight?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Like, golly, man.
This is some trash. I have no idea.
No buzz, no nothing. Like, nobody knows who's on undercard, nothing.
And this is why 50-50 fights are important because no one's expecting Canelo to get in here and lose. They're expecting him to just go in here, hit him in the liver, he takes a knee, and the fight's over.
Right. and again, you talking about a guy that turned down $55 million to fight a guy coming up 3 weight classes. And this is what black fighters got to do in most of these situations to fight guys like Canelo is move up 3 weight classes. Then no one's asking Canelo to go up to heavyweight and fight, Tyson Fury or nobody, you know what I'm saying? But yet they want Earl Spence to go up 3 weight classes. And then, Canelo, the master of, taking these above the weight fights and below the weight fights and all these type of fights, gonna now say, nah, Earl got, ain't no catch weight. Earl got to go to 68. So this stuff is crazy out here, man.
Yeah, that is crazy. Earl got to go all the way up the weight classes.
Yeah,
But shit,
Even
nigga, and he still turned that shit down.
yeah.
even when I saw a catch weight of 164, I was like, man, this is some straight bullshit. And then people try to bring up the little amateur footage of Earl, like, oh look, see, he's a middleweight here, so Canelo's perfectly fine. I'm like, okay, since you talking shit, how about Canelo go to cruiserweight and fight Usyk? Oh, Canelo can't fight everybody, man. Okay, well then shut the hell up. What the hell you talking about?
It's funny how when it's come time to Canelo, he can't do this kind of stuff, but everybody else can.
Literally, we asked this motherfucker to fight Charlo and Benavidez, and people like, oh, he can't fight everybody. I'm like, this is two dudes.
Boxing plug, Danny who is a great fight for Shakur step up. Danny who?
Are you talking about Roman or like?
No, he gotta be talking about somebody else. Yeah, Danny who? You talking about Danny Garcia? I mean, who? Danny Garcia. I mean, if Shakur say he want to go up to 147,
damn. I mean, yeah.
I mean, but I haven't heard him say that. But let's get him at 35 first, because it ain't like he ain't got guys to fight right there before we say, Danny Garcia.
Well, boxing plug Dave. Ryan Garcia wrote himself off as a top dog. He's not trying to get any smoke. What the fuck are we supposed to do? I'm not gonna keep throwing Ryan Garcia's name at people he doesn't want any smoke. He talked all this big shit.
Won't Ryan Garcia fight Frank Martin?
That's what I'm saying. He talked all this big shit and lied a bunch, and he went on hiatus from the sport, came back, fought Togo sandwiches, looked like ass, went 12. And
what do you call it? Togo sandwich?
Yeah, Togo sandwiches, came back, fought him, looked like ass, barely could box, no jab, went 12. And are we supposed to consider him a top dog just because he's popular? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't see anything special coming out of Ryan Garcia. Yeah, like Cozy Rita, like El Rayo get on Ryan Garcia ass, bro. he'll get all up in his ass, bro. Like El Rayo fuck around and stop Ryan Garcia, dude. I mean, dude, Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney in the amateurs 3 times and still don't have the courage to fight him in the pros. What does that tell you? And Devin Haney certainly isn't known for power. Meanwhile, Ryan is. Yeah,
like I said, man, those guys did a lot of those was in the juniors. So I gotta give it to him to that degree that he ain't, moved up and fought Devin, because he beat him 3 times. He beat him in the juniors. He beat him at 13 years old, 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means absolutely nothing. And like I say, that's why a lot of those guys, and I was, I'm piggybacking on what you had said about, Keyshawn and them guys. That's why I say a portion of Devin's career, a portion of anybody's career that turned pro at 16 or 17, a portion of their pro career is basically a glorified amateur career. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't fighting. You're not going to fight anybody that's going to threaten you, because you still a child when you turn pro. Just point blank. You was a child.
Devin Haney started like Canelo. He went down to Mexico because they can issue a little boxing license real quick, and he fought some drunks. And then in his 4th pro fight, I think he debuted on Top Rank in the United States.
Right, and that's what a lot of them did. I mean, you when you turn pro at 16, it ain't been but maybe 1 or 2 guys that ever turned pro at 16 and win a world title at 18. It's only been a couple guys. Now, one of the guys, did it in the same weight class with Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns and all them. So Wilfred Benitez might have been one of the greatest teenage fight sensations ever. You know what I'm saying? But bro, that stuff very rarely happens, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Murataya is solid. I like that dude. Murataya is gonna come around and do some damage. I'm not gonna, give him his flowers just yet, because we still gotta see some stuff out of him. But no, yeah, he's good. I like him. I like what I saw.
Yeah, man. I was saying to y'all and D-Hab, I got Canelo winning this weekend, man. Same old ho hum 12-round decision. Isaac Cruz versus Shakur. If that's next, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. But guess what? We know he's gonna outbox Cruz.
Yeah,
And he's gonna do it easier than Tank because he's just gonna be content with just boxing him from the outside. You know what I'm saying?
If Tank could outbox him with one hand, Shakur can definitely do
Right, exactly. Exactly. No reason for that fight.
Yeah, that's dumb. Just saying we'll beat Ryan. Oh yeah, Murray break off on Ryan. Yeah, that's yeah. Fucking on. Jojo Diaz might honestly be Ryan Garcia. We don't even know. Ryan Garcia doesn't really seem to be interested in wanting to do anything with boxing right now. So, like I said, I didn't write him off as a top dog. He wrote himself off.
Nah.
It's just like Keith Thurman crying about a title position, bro. No one told you to take 2 years off. No one told you to get beat up, get married. Got the booty. Now you off duty. No one told you to do that.
Man, you want to talk about fighters getting special treatments? What about your boy Teofimo Lopez getting the Josh Taylor fight?
Well,
Josh Taylor can't be confirmed.
If I ain't mistaken, he a mandatory, isn't he, for one of those belts, right?
How? He coming off an L?
Hell no, he not.
He's not? Okay, because I thought he was rated number 1 or number 2 in one of those weight classes. And you got to think, it's 4 belts. So if he fighting for, Josh, I'm pretty sure that 1 or 2 of them titles going to get vacated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I personally, I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I personally don't have an opinion on it or care either way because Josh Taylor not going to fight the real guys anyway at 140 now. So, and, he might as well vacate. I would be okay with him vacating. Like, get off the toilet and give up them belts. That's all I got to say. Fight T.O. if you want. No one cares because T.O. is not a name no more. Just go ahead and vacate them other titles so we can see. So y'all know Sergey Lipinets and Richardson. You know what I'm saying? And, let's see Matias against Gary Russell. Like, those are fights I want to see over Josh Taylor.
Well, Josh Taylor definitely gonna come up off the WBA because Alberto Puello, the guy the WBA tried to mandate on him, he'll beat his ass.
Right, he ain't gonna fight him. Right,
Alberto Puello is the dude from the Dominican Republic. He'll beat the shit out of Josh Taylor. It won't even be funny.
Mm-hmm.
He'll knock fire out of Josh Taylor. He might have his ass on a multi-year hiatus like damn Keith Thurman. Josh Taylor wipes the floor with Devin Haney. Just saying, it sounds good. It sounds really good when you say it, but we have to see that. I respectfully disagree.
Dang, there's people who still sound like that these days.
Right after we just saw him get fucking washed by
right. You remember they used to talk like that every day before that fight. Oh, Josh Taylor will beat Tank. Josh Taylor just does everything. He's like the white Terrence Crawford.
The white Terrence Crawford.
I cannot believe that people like even Bud fans were saying that Josh Taylor would be competitive with Bud at 147. I was like, are y'all smoking? Are y'all
Bro, that's what I was like. Are y'all crazy? Y'all really saying that? No, and Bud look good at all.
And you know what? Now that I'm realizing it is because again they wanted Bud to get some rest until Spence. They wanted him to go ahead and fight another dude that they know he's gonna whoop, so they can talk shit while not having Bud in an actual war.
Right. And when you think like that, I mean, that's kind of insane because the way that you thinking is like you a family member or something. Like you supposed to want all your sports heroes or people you're fans of to have the top opposition every single time. Right. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to want to see them fight Joe Blow or play Joe Blow in tennis. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to want them to go against Nadal or Roger Federer or whoever the number one person is. That's who you want to see your guy go against. Not none of this, Josh Taylor waiting around 8 months before you fight Spence. Nah, nope.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm okay with you saying that Josh Taylor beats Haney. That's perfectly fine. But wipes the floor with is some strong ass language considering what we just saw out of Josh Taylor versus Catterall. So that's a lot, bro.
Hey, boxing plug, I'm gonna give you credit for that comment you just made. that UK boxers are gods until they get in that MGM ring and forget how to box. We done seen that too many times, man. Too many times. Outside of Lennox Lewis, you know what I'm saying? No, nearly all of them have forgot how to fight once they come to American soil. Not just that MGM, but American soil.
That's because for a lot of them, it's their first time getting some real smoke. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Even when we go abroad, they end up getting broke off. Like you think that when Tank went to England and fought fucking Liam Walsh knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, the Walsh brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, like bro, it's like you do. They spend all this time, fighting dudes, fighting dudes over there. They're supposed to be over at Matchroom or whatever, and then they get a taste of their first real smoke and they crumble. Like look at Isaac Lowe. Got his first little taste of smoke. Some random dude from Mexico.
Ain't his record was 20-0 with like 3 knockouts or something?
Yep, and he fought a random dude from Mexico who had already been beaten, got his ass whooped, and then got his ass whooped again. So
man, I just would have one question. How do you think you're gonna do good on the world level? And you had 20 domestic fights in England and came away with only 2 or 3 knockouts. Even Tevin Farmer knocked 2 bums out in Great Britain in title fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You can't get more than 3?
I feel like Isaac Lowe is one of those dudes who was boxing, didn't know what was going to become of his career, and then he met Tyson Fury, and then they became friends, and then that's what he decided to devote himself full time to boxing. Because out of 26 fights, he only has 6 knockouts, and he just got knocked out back to back by motherfuckers people weren't even checking for. It's not a good situation for Isaac Lowe right now. It's really not.
Yeah, man, and I mean, I'm looking at. He said that AJ threw his passport in the water. Said I don't need that. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure after a 300-pound Hispanic fighter knocked you out, I would think that would be the end of the road of you fighting in America too.
50 Cent was making memes and shit. I said, "Oh Lord."
Fucking Usyk probably saw that fight and was like, "Man, I'm gonna get in there and fucking style on this dude one day."
No, Conor Ben, he is different. He'll come over here and quit on the stool.
You see,
you see come right to America, sit right on the stool and quit.
I like Conor Ben, but he don't want no smoke either. He ain't trying to get no real smoke either.
Hey, like Art, man, you sent me Stanionis, called him out. Stanionis will beat the crap out of him, man.
Yeah, and I called for Stanionis. I said Stanionis gonna whoop on Ugas ass too, and now I see, yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, Conor Ben, gonna get clean out when he come over. Absolutely, I told y'all what he gonna do. He gonna quit on the stool.
If Conor Ben, if Conor Ben didn't want to fight David Avanesian, he don't want to see no damn Stanionis, bro.
or American welterweights right over here.
Nah, like what they need to do is send that dude, what's his name, Florian Marco over here as a sacrifice to somebody. If people think he good, I'm like, yeah, all right.
I would love to see him and Michael Fox and Conor Ben. You know what I'm saying? Just fight. Let's see what he'll do with that guy.
Yeah, Michael Fox isn't known for his overwhelming power.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even have to give him no top welterweight.
Conor Ben is on fucking witness protection until some belts vacate. They're gonna try to throw him in there and then try to move him like Jaime Munguia. That's all.
But like I was saying to Art, man, to change gears, man, about the Amanda Serrano, we kind of got cut off talking about her.
Oh yeah, who did you think won?
Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. I be hearing people talking about a robbery and this and that. Man, they could have gave them girls a draw, man.
That's exactly how I scored it.
I thought the more high level fight was the Franchon Cruz fight.
That's exactly. I gave the fight. I gave both Serrano and Taylor 4 rounds apiece, and I had the second round and the 10th round draws, and then they both got 9-9. So
there you go.
Yeah, so I scored it exactly a draw. People were talking about how Serrano beat the shit out of KT. I'm like, yeah. And keep in mind, I wanted Serrano to win, but It's just it was hard to give her the rounds because she kept catching right hands. She wouldn't keep her left hand up. She wasn't active with her jab, and she kept eating the right hand.
Julie said he was upset because she was shopping after the fight.
No, it was because she was so excited about shopping. Like immediately after the fight in the locker room, she said after the fight, I'm talking about the fight wasn't even a couple hours over. You supposed to be furious. Look at Pretty Boy OD. He said he had Amanda got robbed, but Amanda was like, I like to think women's boxing, and I can't wait to go and start spending this money. And then 24 hours later, hey, look at me at the mall. Like, come on, man. And yes, facts, Cozy. Girl wasn't moving her head. She was doing this. I see why she was a weight bully for so long now. I see why she went to 115 and 118 and all that and weight bully. She can't fight like that, man.
So Katie Taylor's the GOAT or what?
The GOAT of what? You know what I'm saying? GOAT make milk,
got
right?
her ranked higher than Clarissa Shields.
Man, I saw that.
Disrespectful, especially considering Franchon just got undisputed.
And y'all know the crazy part is that the women fighters are so programmed not to talk trash that they don't even want to acknowledge that these girls didn't move their head and can't fight. They like, oh, it was so much. It was so awesome for women boxing, man. Tell the truth. Them girls look like crap out there, man.
You see, Clarissa Shields, she was like basically saying, like, man, they'll get squashed fucking with her.
They would.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be entertaining. Clarissa Shields fucking bomb on their little asses.
And she is the GOAT because she make milk. That's all she doing, making milk.
Yeah,
GOAT milk. This girl can't fight, man. Katie Taylor can't fight. If a girl is in that anywhere around that weight class, got a jab and a straight right hand, they'll knock her out.
She over here catching punches with her face.
I even saw a guy on Twitter. All I could do, man, was shake my head and kind of laugh. He was like, "Oh my God, she is the most talented female boxer, and she's the most talented athlete ever in Ireland." And I was thinking to myself, like, man, Ireland must have a very weak sports situation going on in their history. Like, it got to be weak if that's your best. You know what I'm saying? Like, even that's a disrespect to Conor McGregor, I think. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
If he the best, then they should really trash them.
All of them trash, man. I mean, look at Katie Taylor. Like, come on, man.
Look at Michael Cullen.
Oh yeah, that nigga. I remember there was like, I don't know why, but all the American fans were super emotional about him being knocked out of the ring. I'm like, this is not the first time we've seen him fly out the fucking ring.
Who got knocked out of the ring?
Michael Conlon at the last minute when he fought Lee Wood.
They was crying for DK. That's all. They were just DK fans. Look, I got on a young lady show, and they were trying to find people to come and speak up for Bud, but they couldn't really find anybody to do it like that. Not many. And I told her, if you go and say, listen, I need someone to speak out about Earl Spence and Al Heyman, you would get people to speak out. Those people were emotional about Michael Conlon because of the DK, the Daniel Kinahan situation. You know what I'm saying? And the Bob Arum. These people are emotionally into these promoters. That's why they be doing this, man. If it was Al Heyman, whenever a PBC fighter lose, they say that fighter lost and Al Heyman lost.
Yeah, I just didn't understand that people were like, oh my, because all I did was tweet about how y'all weren't this concerned when Bernard Hopkins at his old age got knocked smooth out the ring by fucking.
They laughed because it was a Negro.
Yeah, and everybody was like, even fucking coons like E-Waste were like, oh my God, how could you say something at a time? I'm like, if you don't shut your young ass up and focus on graduating high school, Jesus Christ, I cannot wait till that dude turns 18. So when I bump into him on the street, I can just beat his ass. I'm like, dude, you're acting like a little fucking teenage girl. Lead a fucking life.
Let him live. I just muted the guy. I didn't even fuck with him.
Yeah, I muted him months ago. I'm like, dude, you got fucking issues, dog. I'm like, you over here having a war with my burner, and then you didn't even get my page banned. You talking about R.I.P. Di? I'm like, bro, I'm still here.
Man, hey, D-Hive, I be just kind of tripping on them guys, man. It's a couple of them just like him, man. They just, they make all these boxing analogies and stuff, and 99% of it, man, they sit around, they're only talking things they have heard announcers say. That's all they do. They hear announcers say something, or they hear someone like Breadman make a comment, and then they start talking the same exact thing. And I think I said it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I was just about to say that him and his whole little cohort, they have no original boxing knowledge or analysis whatsoever. They listen to people like Steve, Kim, or Ring IQ or whatever, and then they just type it verbatim or retweet something. Even
guys that don't even know boxing.
Right. And the thing is, and I'm not even talking about just boxing, even like the personal insults that they use on people, everything that they say is something somebody else already said. Like, oh, Artman doesn't pay his bets. Or oh, this D-Hive said this or that. I'm like, dude, all that shit has been said by other people and nothing has happened. Get over yourself. Like you're and then you notice how all of a sudden he wants to be like a popular space host. I'm like, look, I know you don't have much talent or promise doing anything else with your life, so you're trying to audition for a fucking job like Max. But dude, you gotta actually you gotta actually sit down, watch the sport, and grow up some and be a fucking adult. Like, just because a bunch of random Twitter bums are giving you some praise because you agree with what they say, you think you're getting put on. Like, dude, life is gonna hit you in the fucking chest really hard, and you're gonna become depressed because you're not accomplishing shit because you were never that guy. It's kind of like what happens to a lot of boxers. They get hyped up from the fucking media. They really think they're big time. They go onto the big stage and they start getting their asses beat and they fall into depression. But the difference is you're not going to be able to touch any of the money.
And that's what I was just sitting here thinking about when you brought up Max and those guys. And actually,
they're auditioning for fucking jobs. And I'm
they want media jobs, but the one thing that I would tell them to do, and I'm being honest, and I would tell them exact same thing I would tell my son: concentrate on being humble and going to school, because you'll get a lot further in the line of work that you're trying to get in by going to school, taking some journalism classes, taking some TV and radio or whatever, man, and just and try to go into gyms and do like what Artman doing, going in them gyms and actually training and learning about boxing, and stop talking things that you hear, because at this stage, I personally wouldn't talk boxing with him if we was out on the street, because it would be, how could I really talk boxing with them when they don't know nothing? And I'm not trying to be funny. They don't know nothing.
It would be a quick conversation.
It'll be a quick conversation. That's why I say
they would very quickly be lost. They wouldn't know what you were talking about.
Exactly. And that's why I was saying, man, do exactly the Artman approach on going in the gyms, running, losing weight, so you could talk about weight cuts and stuff like that. Like, you got knowledge, direct knowledge. Hey, man, I was in there. I sparred. I know how hard it is to be a fighter and this and that. And you become humble, because I talk my trash, but the majority of the time I'm talking that trash about them trainers, because I've been in the trenches. A guy that mentored me for over 20 years, he had numerous world champions: Holyfield, Larry Holmes, trained Chop Corley. I mean, so you got to learn the game, man. Like, being for real, you got to learn the game.
So, D-Hive, so what do you think about them telling some guy try to say Shakur Stevenson checked me for saying I want him to stay consistent?
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, like all Shakur did was disagree, and that's the thing about a lot of you dudes. The reason why the media and a lot of your favorite boxers are gonna stay the fuck away from y'all is because they see y'all focus a lot on personal shit. Like y'all, y'all like literally be on fight day talking about something personal, some beef you have with some dude's Twitter account. I'm like, the media sees you and y'all act like messy bitches. And the worst thing about that is also y'all try to go on and talk about the business side of boxing, bro. Y'all haven't even fucking paid any taxes. Y'all don't know shit.
Right.
Y'all don't know shit about shit.
Haven't even received a paycheck.
And I'm not even talking about the kids this time. I'm talking about some of the grown ass 50-year-old men that are crying about a tweet. You niggas have never even smelled good money.
Right.
A lot of y'all don't know business. A lot of y'all have never handled contracts. Like I said, a lot of y'all don't even have the fucking intelligence to negotiate your way out of a goddamn parking ticket, and you over here talking about $100 million, multi-million-dollar deals because you associate with some people that you believe are smart. All y'all need to shut the fuck up. Like it's terrible at this point.
And you know what? And I'm sorry, Art man. I gotta address NJMP. He's exactly right. If what Shakur said to you, had he said it to Max, those same guys would have been on Max's side and said, "Oh, Shakur's being ultra sensitive, bro." I'm gonna say this, and it's just what it is. We need to stop protecting white folks and stop trying to also bring black people against each other. Because D-Hive, I don't know if you saw it, but Evan Korn tried to come up there and diss Artman for Shakur, and Shakur shut him down. Yeah. Shakur told him mind his own business because it wasn't that serious. But it was guys up there trying to make it serious. And like I say,
they was trying to make it seem like I was like, yeah, nigga, you ducking. Fuck that Valdez fight.
Right. All Art Man was saying was the same thing we say to Tank.
All the time. Fight some black guys.
Fight some niggas every now and then. That's it. That's all.
Look,
that's all it.
Here. Why you guys don't push your fighters to fight black American fighters?
We do. They don't want
Shakur, you should fight O'Shaquie Foster. Oh, hell no. What are you talking about?
And here's another thing too.
Hey, Tank, you should fight Devin Haney. Oh, Devin Haney has no power. What the fuck?
And here's another thing too, man. People act like if you think a fighter gonna get beat, or the disagreement that you had, Art Man, with Shakur, now it's people out there that'll say you're wrong if you meet Bud Crawford and take a picture with him or appreciate him. We need to stop that, man.
I seen that.
Oh my God!
And listen, you know, this is crazy. The same person who said that, who took the picture with Bud, is the person that said I got checked by Shakur Stevenson. So I'm like, bro, what the hell?
He's a scrub, and I tell him. But man, here's the thing, bro. Straight up, man. I support black folks. So if I see a black athlete out there, I don't care if I said that he wasn't as good as another guy. I'm still gonna show him love, 100%. So if I see Bud Crawford, I'm not gonna try to act like Bud Crawford is my op or I hate the guy. Man, that ain't how we do it. We just talking about fights up here. And as you see, and Art Man, you already know, D-Hive, you know, I'm willing to fall out with these guys about the black folks and the black fighters. I'm willing to fall out with them. So when they come with that Evan Korn stuff, I'm gonna check him.
Who is? You know him?
Evan Korn? Yeah, I seen him before. He used to work with Lou DiBella.
He works
and now he with Top Rank.
Hey, you know what'd be crazy? Some of these boxing writers and officials who be working with these guys, they be retweeting and hating on me on the low, and I don't even know who the hell these people are.
Mm-hmm.
I just be thinking they're regular troll accounts. Come to find out, these niggas work for the companies.
Well, you know, also one thing you got to factor in is that a lot of the people that are on boxing Twitter that already don't like you, they'll either tag you stuff or take screenshots of your tweets and put them under people so you can't develop relationships, because they like people have even done that to me. And keep in mind, I don't want a personal relationship with any of these boxers because my money doesn't come from boxing, and I don't want to be involved in the industry. And if I did, I would simply just make another page and be somebody else. But yeah, no, they do that all the time because they see that people are referencing you, or they think you might be getting a close relationship, so they want to wreck it. It's kind of like what they tried to do when that one dude linked to with Alicia Baumgartner. They tried to immediately destroy that and shit on it. Just like when I made a tweet about something, other people came in. They were like, "Oh man, them your homies." You talking to them? I'm like, nigga, it's Twitter. I've never met any of you. Stop being a bitch.
I told you about them niggas, man.
Yeah, D-Hive was see that when a guy told me you talking to them, you know what I'm saying, and I thought that you were one of the good ones. Like what are you trying to call me, a good end? I'm one of the good ends. That's what it is. No, I'm the same end.
I'm just like, bro, y'all are like 55 fucking years old, still acting like it's Mean Girls. Grow up. They're over here talking about my parents. I'm like, my parents don't have Twitter. The fuck out of here. Like, dude, I'm like,
somebody's like, see, man, and that's why people don't respect your opinion. And this, I'm like, bro, Twitter is not a real place. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, right.
This is
why I'm about to have a whole son out here in a little bit. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about.
NJP, and let me address NJMP. Dan Raphael is just like this. He was a fat boy that had to find his place in. He liked sports, but he was too big and too greasy to play it. Right? So he found his niche that he could get in because boxing is so racial. They give guys like him an opportunity. These guys, he don't know the difference between a jab and an overhand right. He don't know boxing. He just knows how to be racist, write articles, get people on his side, make sly comments about people, call folks names, and then he's sitting up there 400 pounds. You know,
I was watching the build up for man, when you ever have time, watch the build up for Gotti versus Floyd. Jesus Christ, you would have thought Jesus was fighting the motherfucking Darth Vader or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
The way they was explaining Floyd and Gotti, they was making it seem like Gotti was some type of white angel,
right?
Good hero, fucking saving cats out of burning trees.
And he was an alcoholic.
Yeah, and they try to make Floyd seem like he was some ration hood, no respect,
right,
defiant black Negro, man.
Right.
He literally said Floyd could have been like Sugar Ray Leonard, smiling in the camera and shit, but he decided to take the dark route.
Right. And listen, you know they made that the build up fire and ice and thunder and lightning and all that good shit. Stuff.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about that. Arturo Gotti, as much as I didn't want to see nothing happen to the guy, that guy lived a hard life, man. Drugs and alcohol related. You know what I'm saying?
The wars.
He was mentally ill. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm not saying mentally ill like that. I'm talking about from from the what they call it, THE, the brain injury.
Oh, CTE.
CTE. He was a CTE type candidate. No doubt about it. He was a candidate. But I'm just saying, man, these guys, and that's why I say, and a lot of people that are black don't really follow me on Twitter. I ain't got no following like that. Even in the college, basketball, the pro basketball, because I call these guys out. I call these coons out that people be thinking are just great guys. And I'll be like, no, he's a coon. You know what I'm saying? I call them out on that. I also call people out that are masquerading like they know something and they really don't. And
it's so funny too. People be thinking I'm some type of page that's trying to get like a whole bunch of YouTube views and all that shit, and like,
right.
I'm like, bro, I really don't give a fuck about this shit. All my money comes from selling artwork. I can literally just stop talking and just sell my merch.
Right. You got a name now. All you got to do is come up every once in a while and post different, pictures that you got. But these guys, man, like I said, they just get up here and they just talk stupid. Then they act like they want to fight people. And then, they
I when I
really
bump into Art Man, I feel like this dude.
And all these dudes will sit here and claim that Dan Rafael doesn't know boxing, but they'd happily take his place for the paychecks he gets.
He ain't getting none no more.
Well, I know he's not employed, but I just mean the little TV spots he gets.
Oh yeah, they'll love that.
Yeah, that's all they're doing. Motherfuckers will starting up YouTube pages and shit because they're like, man, this economy, inflation, sure getting tough. Maybe I should talk about dude. The market is so fucking saturated. Do something else, bro. Put.
That's why people are gravitating to my page because you motherfuckers are saying the same shit constantly. So when they see somebody else saying it's like, oh shit, what is this guy talking about?
Facts, NJP.
And all the people saying, oh, Shakur, you should listen to that guy. You shouldn't do. All y'all saying all that is making the motherfucker want to listen to what the hell I'm saying.
Yeah, because he's like, why are all these people shitting on this one guy in particular?
What he do?
Hey, but y'all know Shakur will call out black issues. He'll call that out. So I think a part of him, when you said the fight these brothers, he didn't come back and crap on that comment. He did not. When you made that other comment about fighting the black fighters, he did not come back on that. He didn't say you was wrong for that because Shakur knows the history of boxing. What's good, Nando?
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I don't understand why Shakur, why he can't, like our man said earlier, why he can't be black and Puerto Rican.
Well, he never said nothing about being Puerto Rican. That was Top Rank thing, and that's what I said to all those.
But now he's saying it though.
He's saying it because Top Rank pushed that. They didn't say that until when? After that first, after he beat Joet. You know what I'm saying? They were looking for another angle because they don't know how to promote him. So they feel the best way to promote him is to throw some Puerto Rican blood in him and then sprinkle that on top. Think about this. All them people were talking about he was Puerto Rican. I saw the man grandfather, a 100% FBA, that's my complexion. I saw his mother, my complexion. I saw his 9 brothers and sisters, all FBAs. What are people talking about?
Like I said, I mean, he mentioned his father and all that stuff is fine, but I don't understand why he can't be both. They're trying to emphasize. I guarantee you when he get in there and get his ass whooped, they're gonna talk about, black guy lost.
Right. And he called himself black. You know what I'm saying? Now he's saying that, and like I say, that's marketing. And I'm pretty sure that Jay Prince, I'm not gonna get on Jay Prince, but I'm pretty sure Jay Prince saying, well, or it might be cool to kind of throw that in there.
That's what I'm thinking, because somebody was like, because even a Mexican dude brought it up to me. He's like, yeah, man, I honestly feel like because he was Top Rank, and you know how Top Rank rolls. And I'm like, yeah, nigga, we know how Top Rank rolls. Yeah, I like to say race is not involved, but Top Rank, you're like, huh? Race?
Yeah, race is involved.
Race is definitely involved. What are you talking about?
And the most annoying thing is that people keep pushing this bullshit narrative that black fighters don't sell, blah 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 blah. It's like, no, people are tired of seeing black fighters. Say it how it actually is.
No, it's like that movie, man. It's what's that movie with Samuel Jackson? It's literally like that. What he said, man, people are tired of watching these black niggas just dominate.
Man,
so we need to give them something new.
NJMP crazy, man. He said, pull that one up, Art. He said, why can't Nico Walsh just be white? That's funny, man.
Nicholas Walsh is a Caucasian male.
Absolutely.
Nicholas, I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck what the because until I see a birth certificate to confirm the birth year,
I don't believe that's her son either. I believe that she married that man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Until I see a birth certificate with the year on it, I'm just gonna sit here and believe that kid was already born by the time they got married.
Hey, exactly. And look, Art Man, brought up. I think he put the picture up and said, "This is Muhammad Ali, grandson." Like, come on,
Oh
man.
yeah, people got so mad when I posted that shit.
Man, cause man, I don't believe that lady. It's just like some of them kids that Kim Kardashian is running around with. I mean, I'm just gonna call it, bro. I don't care. She running around with them black babies, and how many of them came out of her stomach?
Like some of the babies were surrogates.
Yeah, nearly all of them, I think.
Yeah, I only remember like her being pregnant like one time.
One time. So is she really the mother, or is she just an adoptive mom?
My thing is though is that people can't even point out like the Negroid features on Nicholas Walsh. Like you see, like even if he is mixed, like where's the black parts? They gave this nigga some cornrows. We supposed to believe that? Like what? Like nah, bro. Like come on, you gotta do better than that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, but what you think about your man, working man Joe?
Man, working man, he ain't gonna do shit. He gonna get in there. He gonna look good for maybe a round or two. Better be gonna crack his ass with some shit, and then he gonna start folding. He's gonna fall back toward the ropes. Better be gonna let the combinations go to the head and body, and it's gonna be over with. People
you talking about Joe Smith?
Yeah, Joe Smith versus Better Be because they announced it.
But Joe Smith gonna try to win. Joe Smith gonna crack him, but he gonna get stopped. Yeah.
My thing is, people keep talking about, oh, what's gonna happen when Better Be gets cracked by Joe Smith Jr. I'm like, nigga, what's gonna happen when Joe Smith Jr. get cracked?
Joe Smith gonna fold. Well, he ain't gonna quit. He's just gonna get knocked out.
That's what I'm saying. Like y'all act like Joe Smith Jr. is fucking Terminator. Like
no, he tough. I mean, he fought with a broken nose and a broken orbital bone. He tough.
Yeah, but not to mention Bivol already beat his ass. So what are we doing here?
A lot of times, Joe, and I call him Ordinary Joe. Ordinary Joe has been beaten by journeyman. They cheated for him one night on ESPN, one of the worst cheating exhibitions I ever seen. I know y'all probably forgot about it. He fought the European guy for the vacant title. The guy
I remember that shit.
He fought Blasov, didn't he?
Yeah, Blasov.
I ain't gonna lie.
Won about 10 rounds.
The crowd gave him like an extra bit of steam, and him just doing that little rally at the end just said, "Fuck it, we just gonna give it off participation."
Joe got the crap beat out of him, man.
Oh yeah,
Joe got beat up, man. So they giving Joe credit for that.
I didn't think it was a wash, but he was getting some hands put on him. I'll tell you that he was getting his ass whooped. Yeah, but nah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know why people think that. Like, some people were saying that Joe Smith Jr. could beat Bivol in a rematch. I was like, y'all smoking crack, bro. Yeah, I was like, y'all smoking sherm.
Yeah, that dude outboxed and beat up Joe
again.
Ordinary Joe.
Because he cracked. Because the thing is, like, Joe Smith Jr. cracked him over the head with his best single right, overhand right, twice. Once at the beginning of the fight, once at the end of the fight, and nothing happened.
And now it's funny that you say that, because I'm about to bring up a scenario for you and Art, man. Joe Smith can absolutely punch.
Right.
But if Canelo go in there and knock out Bivol like that, man, Bivol got that bag, man.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. If Canelo chin checks Bivol and Bivol folds, I'm calling bullshit on the whole fight.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Because Joe Smith Jr. cracks has to physically.
I mean, we done seen him with one fixed fight, the Kovalev fight.
Yeah, that fight was trash. But like physically biologically, Joe Smith Jr. should hit harder than a dude
Some
coming up
people
from
feel like it's
140.
gonna be just like that Kovalev fight.
You bet not. If Bivol get in there and hit the stanky leg, bro, I'm throwing Bivol in the garbage.
Man, you look.
Get ready for
Man,
the
be
stanky
honest.
leg.
You gotta stay consistent, my brother.
Man, fuck that. If Bivol gets in there,
Because check this out. You did say Plant's body language was a little off in that the week of the fight.
Yeah, I did. That's because I saw.
Now, what do you make of
Canelo,
screaming Canelo? I'm like, oh man.
I didn't know that
you
happened.
right, C Love.
I didn't know it happened.
I didn't know that happened until y'all just told me, so I still gotta watch the video. I had no idea.
That's what I'm saying. When you watch that video, you're gonna be like, oh man.
Yeah, I had no idea that even occurred because I didn't know they were in like the same. I didn't even know they were in the same vicinity to even be doing all of that.
Yeah, it's fight week, but it just don't even got that feeling, man. Whatever.
It's no buzz, man. No buzz.
That's because
it was buzz for the Shakur. It was more buzz for the Serrano and Katie Taylor.
The only buzz for this fight is fans telling us that it's worthy, and some fans saying it's not. It's like people are undecided what to gauge it. I feel like people just want to see it for what it is.
all they're doing.
Are they gonna buy the fight, or are they gonna stream it?
All they're doing is telling us they're gonna worship Canelo afterwards, no matter what happens. That's it.
Hey, I'm asking y'all something. Are they gonna buy it or are they gonna stream it?
Shit, I'm stream Team 6 over here.
Man.
I'm talking about his fans. They always talking about him and his numbers. Are they gonna buy it or are they gonna stream it?
Of course they streaming that shit.
Absolutely. 100%. Just like Tyson Fury fans did. Yeah. At least Earl Spence, we could say he had a couple 100,000 buys. These guys is in the 10,000 or 20,000 and stuff, man.
That shit was funny. Somebody said that he had 11,000 American buys. That's just pathetic.
But I really feel like that's worse. I feel like it's worse than that.
Yeah, I don't think 11,000 people over here bought that motherfucker. I know I did. That's just trash.
Trash, man. But look, guys, I gotta run, man. It was good shooting.
So do I. I gotta go too, man.
I wanna hear Cried come up here though. But hopefully Cried to come up here, man. I
gotta get going too.
Yeah, man.
All
right, bro. Take it easy.
Most definitely, we're gonna do this tomorrow.
No doubt.
Thanks for having me up. Y'all have a good one.